Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike. I'm coming at you with another video. This time I want to talk to you about my love-hate relationship with Beast Wars. And I think that my viewers kind of are split up in a 40-40-20 breakdown to where 40% of my viewers hate Beast Wars, 40% love Beast Wars, and about 20% just don't care. And so with that, I want to have a discussion about Beast Wars. I'm going to be talking about the toys, the cartoon, and all of that good stuff. But if you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe. Lots more great videos coming very soon. And also press the likes. The number of likes on a video make me decide whether or not to make more videos along those lines, or whether I should just go in a different direction and scratch some other ideas and move on. So that's where the likes work for me. Put all the likes down there that you can. It'd be outstanding. So anyway, getting into this, I started collecting toys when I was 19, and what got me into it was, oddly enough, the Star Wars Power of the Force 2 figures, which are the third most worthless figures behind new movie figures, new Star Wars movie figures, and Bend-Ems. But the Power of the Force 2 figures, little did I know, if I'd have known today, I could just buy like the whole collection for a couple $100. I wouldn't have chased them so hard, but it was kind of fun. So back in the day, I was at a Walmart and I looked down, I saw some Star Wars Power of the Force 2 figures, and I was like, wait, I had that as a kid, like everyone else says. I had that when I was a kid. And then I looked a little closer, and no, I didn't, and I picked a few up. Then I decided to get all 12 that were out, and then it was all over after that. But I was in college at the time, and then I was in the computer lab working on computer work stuff and school stuff. And when I got done with that, I had like an extra 20 minutes. And seeing as how I never had any spare time because I worked and went to school so much, that 20 minutes was so valuable, I would look up Star Wars stuff on the internet. I didn't really have internet connection at home that was worth anything. The school had the best internet connection in town, so I was able to see what was going on in the world. Look at vintage Star Wars stuff, new Star Wars stuff that was coming out. But it didn't take long, and I think somewhere in 98, I started, or it's 97, 98, somewhere around there, I started wanting to get into Transformer stuff. And finding that there was just really not much out there. Not much about Transformers. There was a few pages, some fan sites, but not much going on in that time regarding the Transformers world, and especially G1. And which G1, there was all pictures and all the stuff that was great. But come to find out that my next trip to Walmart, I was like, there's got to be a Transformer on the aisle. There wasn't. All there was Beast Wars. So there began my hate of Beast Wars. The fact that it took the slot of what could have been some G1 stuff that I could have bought. Then I had to go pay what I felt was too much for G1 stuff that was used and a little bit beat up, and began my wanting to collect Transformers, but not allowed to buy new Transformers because they weren't making them. So there's my hatred of Beast Wars. So this is the love-hate part. You got the hate first. So I didn't really want the toys. I started, and I think during that time, it was at the end of the season 1 stuff was still on the shelf. They were getting in some Transmetal stuff, and I kind of just forgot about the whole Beast Wars thing. Didn't even think about it. But then I was visiting my aunt. I guess in '98 when I was visiting my aunt. And spent a couple weeks with her. Well, she actually had the show was on one of her channels there, and I started watching it. So about 2 weeks of watching it, but I found that I actually enjoyed the show. It was a good show. The animation was different than anything I've ever seen. Some people say it's great. Some people say they don't like it. I like it. I think it's good. Yeah, the backgrounds are kind of lousy in the show, but that's not really what I watched the show for. I watched the show for the characters, and there was some interesting characters that I've never really seen before, and really thought it was kind of cool how they kind of took on the persona of like the aunt would say, you know, my queen and all that stuff. So I really enjoyed the show, and then I got a little excited about the fact that I could enjoy a franchise but not feel compelled to collect every single figure that they make or every single thing that they make, as I was doing with the Star Wars franchise. And so I did pick up some Transmetal Megatron and Transmetal Optimus. Now, that was because my aunt was the original scalper back in the day with Furbies. I don't know if you guys remember what Furbies are, but she bought Furbies at KB. So we went to KB's And I guess she had like 4 or 5 in her area, which we only have 1 in ours at the time. And so when I did that, I started looking for Transformers. Hopefully I could find Transformers. I actually found some leftover G2 stock at the time. So there was some G2 Transformers in the KBs, not in Walmarts, but in those KBs. And that got me excited. So I picked all those up. And then I picked up these Transmetal Megatron. You gotta have a Megatron and an Optimus. But I was still kind of offended that Optimus was a gorilla and not a truck. But I came to terms with it because I enjoyed the show. So then fast forward to future modern day today. And yeah, they made, well, I guess you could say 2012 or something, 30th anniversary. Whenever that was, yeah, 2012. They had like a Rhinox, they had a Waspinator, and some stuff that was sort of an homage, updated versions of Beast Wars items. Now, I had sold off at one point, actually a few months ago, sold off everything Beast Wars I had, and now I've accumulated more Beast Wars. I don't know why, but I have an appreciation for it, and I understand the people who like it and why they like it, because that was their show. G1 was my show, but Beast Wars was their show. And I really think that with the Beast Wars piece, that I enjoyed the show, but it wasn't my show. And these toys aren't my toys. And I'm pondering whether I sell them or not. I mean, I think it's kind of nice to have some, so I can whip out a comparison here and there once in a while. And I do actually have the KL version of Dinobot coming in. And I do want to review that Dinobot. But then that gets into another thing. And there's this big discussion about, in my other videos, people are talking about how Beast Wars is part of the G1 continuity in Japan. Well, first off, how am I supposed to know that? Second off, if it was part of G1 continuity in the US, that really doesn't make any sense because it was an afterthought by the creators to even put the arc in there. So I don't get it at all. It makes no sense to me. Nowhere was there a tie to it other than the fact that they made 1 episode, really. Well, 3 episodes, but really 1 episode that tied it together. Now, I've been watching all these again, and I actually appreciate it more watching it, 20 years later, as opposed to when I watched it back then. And it's not a bad show. I would actually recommend it if you haven't seen it. And it's got some great animation and great points to it. But when it comes to the Masterpiece stuff, it really kind of bothers me that it is numbered in with my G1. I feel like it's taking a slot away from what could be a Jazz, what could be well, right now we're waiting on the Hound, but I hear that is coming. So, and they could make all these other great figures, but they're not. They're making Beast Wars. And I do think that Beast Wars should see their light of day. Beast Wars collectors should get what they want out of this. But what is the future of it? Now, one of the things I did like a lot was the Beast Wars Megatron, the Red Dragon. And I bought that Red Dragon when it came out. I saw the episode where he arrived. I knew if they made a toy of that, I'd want it, and I bought it. And it was only like $30. Now, you think about it, back then, the prices on these things were really low. They were very affordable back then. But I got that Red Dragon, and I ended up selling it. I mean, I think it's worth like $400 now. But I opened mine, and I had fiddled with it and stuff, and I sold it in a bulk lot because someone that really loved Beast Wars, and he was so excited to buy them. I was like, cool, win-win, because I just don't care about it. But then when I come across stuff, I pick it up now. So I'm curious from you guys, though, how many of you like Beast Wars? Was my 40-40-20 assumption of my viewer audience correct? I'd like to see that in the comments. How many of you like it? How many of you hated it? And how many just don't really care? And how many of you would rather see some G1 figures getting made in place of the Beast Wars figures? How many of you are ecstatic that they're continuing to make Beast Wars figures? I want to hear all that. Also, I have a few more future videos coming, and I'm not sure if I should do it on this channel. I heard a lot of people talking about starting a second channel, and I think I'll talk a little bit more of this in other videos in the future. But I'm thinking about doing a finance segment and then a fitness segment. But I think I could do that and still continue the content. But I have so many. I'm gonna try to get caught up on these Transformer videos. I got a Joe video coming. I've got some other videos, Centurions I'm working on. Not just Transformers, but Transformers is the most exciting thing going on right now. I can't say Beast Wars is the most exciting thing going on right now, but that Megatron's beautiful. That Dinobot is beautiful. I'm going to do a review on that guy. And I'm going to see if that Dinobot is as good as everyone says. I got this other KO one. I've already done that one. Didn't seem like that people that were that interested in that thing. But like, subscribe, give me some feedback on what you think about the Beast Wars world. And of course, Tydirium Hanger out.